Sachchidanand Pulinanandji.
Jai Sachchidanand.
Yeah, Pulinanandji.
I'm
going to internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, while I'm doing it, Pulinanandji, 3 months now.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukaro.
Exo Panchana Mukaro.
Vapa Vapanasano.
Savapa Vapunasano.
Dhananja Sabresin.
Armanandi Satvesin.
Paramam Bhavai Mangalam.
Armam Bhavai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Satchidanand.
Jai Sachchidanand. Jai Sachchidanand.
People have not come yet, so you have any, Arunaman, you have any question? All right. Want to say something?
Not really. I don't have any question.
You may like to share something if you want to. Anything.
Yeah, how is your interface with your daughter?
No, it's much better. Now, since I started doing Pratikraman more and just I started listening to her more, and I saw that myself, I was insisting so much on her. So things have improved now. She calls us, she talks very nicely with us. Her husband also talks very nicely with us.
So Pratikraman
has helped, and also the Kalam number 5 has helped a lot.
Acha.
Oh.
How?
We realized that I was Maro Agra, so like my insisting on her believing me, and I was not listening to her point of view. So that changed, that I should agree and sometimes listen to her point of view and see what she really wants to tell me. And no interference in her life from our side. So that helped a lot.
Perfect.
How was even ST had some issues, or he was okay compared to you?
No, he was okay. He always was a Muduruju Basha. He always said, just take it easy. But I was the one who was very aggressive with her.
Just for information, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, her husband ST, and we were in the same class. Final year of engineering. And even we met at the Guru Purnima, we couldn't recognize each other.
Right. While talking, I was the one inquisitive to find out where you graduated and what engineering did you do. From that came out everything that you and ST both were in the same class.
So we, because everybody was Patel, that we were going by initial ST. Her husband ST, I was RB, or friend was KV, like that.
And I was kept on saying to you, he is Suresh. And you saying, oh, there was no Suresh in my class.
Because Pulinanandji, we were in your university too, I was, right? But final year I changed to Vidyanagar.
Acha.
I
Okay.
was in, I did first 2 years in Shivaji University, and
Mhm.
then final year I moved to Vidyanagar.
Okay.
Okay.
Final year you were in Vidyanagar. Okay, okay.
Yeah, right. And
But
that's why
first 2 years in Karad,
is what?
first 2 years were in
Yeah,
Karad, college
yeah, yeah,
engineering.
yeah. Correct. Right, right. Yeah. And that's why I didn't know too much people in my class. So Suresh never stuck me. It's ST. So
Yes.
anyway, okay, very good. Okay. You want to say anything on that, Deepakanji?
Come again?
You want to say anything about her interface with her daughter?
Interaction with what?
With her daughter, Pratikraman, and using Agna number 5. She was
Oh,
able,
see,
she was to,
yeah. See, one thing what we analyze or we come to know after understanding Dada's life science that in our ignorant state, we had been committing mistakes, and mistakes.
Yeah.
We never found ourselves at fault, never in our life. We always saw and believed and judged every other person at fault, as if I am the only God like. Never
Right.
identified or either said that I'm like God, but I'm always innocent. And I always saw myself innocent, whereas I always judge others at fault. And after coming to Akramigdan, the science of original science of life and living fact, what Dada Bhagwan revealed, I came to know my goodness. As Dada has said and experienced, he always said, all others are innocent, I am at fault. So after this conviction, what really remained in my life and what I have been doing all these years, still at times intellect intervenes and shows other people at fault. But finally, the light of wisdom, light of knowledge will always and does wins and finally makes me correct myself, pass of forgiveness. So finally, what it boiled down to, finally, the conclusion was uh, see through the windows of 9 diamonds and be firm, have total conviction and resolution that I do not to hurt anyone through my mind, speech, and body. And then there is this conviction and decision remains, and what goes on all the time is I come to know my mistake gets revealed. I come to know and I keep correcting myself. And as I started correcting myself, things started falling in its place. Reason was because of my mistakes, things were going away around. But
Right.
after correcting myself, and life has become so wonderful that especially with our own, I mean, after Putras, because that is our immediate association. And since we are like walking together,
Right.
there is always competition, comparison, jealousy, and whatnot can come, I'm saying. And it does come at times. But then with Dada's vision to analyze, understand, and judge correctly, it is fun. I come out of all that so nicely. And I mean, for whom I may be having some negative thoughts at times, I start, how would you say, adoring them, worshipping them, respecting them. Respect, I say, it's very worldly. But I start worshipping them. My God, they met Dada Bhagwan much before me. So I stand nowhere. So the only thing, if I want to improve and get benefited from this whole association, is start not respecting them, worshipping them. So it's like, we touch feet of God and ask for forgiveness and ask for strength. Internally, to my hearty feeling, I have started worshipping all after Buddhas. And this is really helping me to remain very humble, uh, very progressive, very confident, and most important, I will say, I started remaining happy all the time, cheerful all the time. Otherwise, my happiness was always like getting snatched away by small little things happening. Even if I listen from someone about someone's goodness, see, this is so bad when someone appreciates, what do you say, praises someone, then that factor of jealousy or indifference was coming all the way. But gradually, with right vision of what Dada has given, it is helping me so much and pacifying me all the time, helping me remain cheerful and happy and very vigilant. And at the same time, I believe it is really progressive that I feel very good. So these are wonderful instruments what Dada has left us for every one of us. So I'm also part of it, and I should try to make the best of all these Saptaputtras and Mahatmas available because they are direct recipient of this vision of Dada Bhagwan. One, we normally say that the torch bearer of Akra Vigdan and all like that, but heartily I believe every Mahatma is the torch bearer of Akram Vignan of Dada Bhagwan. And I must learn to not respect but worship them. And it's going on very well. And most most important thing I believe that I don't miss Pratikraman and it has become I believe not it has become I believe it should become my life itself that decision my conviction and decision and Pratikraman this is my goal and it's going on very well. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Hey,
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Yeah,
Pulidanji, you can add to that, and after that, you can introduce also column number 6. Okay. Okay,
yeah.
Pulidanji.
No, Deepakanandji has nicely shared his his experience of his personal Purusharth. I just one point struck me when Arunaben was mentioning her experience with the daughter. Just to put things in perspective, what you have done is very good by doing the fifth Kalam Purusharth and Pratikraman. Your relations have become smooth, so that is perfect. The block that was there between the before you did the Purusharth was of Mamta. Mamta, minus. The Mamta
Right.
over the daughter, that continues even after she is married and settled well in her life now. My daughter, my daughter. So that was when, that every mother has a Mamta for her children, which was there right from her childhood and it continued. So because of that, you have a feeling that she must listen to my viewpoint. You are my
That's
daughter, you see,
that's
my
right.
daughter and my viewpoint. So that is okay up to a point till they are say
Right.
17, 18 or 20, 21. After that, gradually we have to release them. All
Release it.
parents have to release them. Release them in
Right.
the sense, let them have their way of thinking. Let them have their way of living their life. Let them have their opinions and viewpoints.
Right.
So that did not happen, and that carried forward. That carried forward. So that is why you had this fights and fights, that you must
Right.
listen to me and things like that. It is Mamta at play. This is just to understand, okay, what
Right.
was happening. Now, if we are able to identify some one or two such culprits, what will happen is, if again it pops up somewhere else, then you can rein it and immediately say, "Oh, come back." And
Right.
also, it also happens, in old age, we might not have enough company to talk to. Then children are the only place we shower all our love and affection, because that is all what we have done since they were a child. Your
Right.
life. sometimes, I'm not saying in your case, I don't know your background, but sometimes the mother very lovingly takes care of all the children, wife, husband, and all that. Her entire existence and happiness hinges on the children and children's welfare. Now, after they grow up 20 years down the line, 20, 25 years growth age, then they move away into their own lifestyles. Then there is a vacuum, and that vacuum is very difficult to fulfill. You
Fulfill,
know what
right.
to do. All my life I've done for them. So then that overflow tendency is there. I did for them, now I'll continue to do for them. Whether they want my advice or not, I have a tendency to give
Right.
their advice.
That's
So
exactly what was happening.
that vacuum that got created was being tried to full. You were trying to fill that vacuum with this, and in the process, it created conflicts where she said, "Mama, now I have grown up. I have my own husband, wife, my children,
Right,
etc. My
exactly.
own viewpoint. You have raised me up to a point. Then now you have to release your hold on me or your viewpoints
Right.
hold on me. You may give gradual advice, but leave it." And second thing that happens typically in India also at times, not always, is the mother tendency has a tendency to guide the daughter all the way even after she's married, and then she'll interfere in her in-laws scenario. Tell this to your mother-in-law, tell this to your husband, tell this or do like this, do like that, which is in not very right. Let them live the way they are. Okay, as a caring parent, if they come back to you with troubles and difficulties, give them Dada's advice, Dada's knowledge. See how they can adapt and adjust in their scenario. And not take any retaliatory position, not take any dveshwala position. Don't teach her any violent mental attitude. અને આમ કરી નાખજે અને તેમ કરી નાખજે
Right.
સંભાળી લેજે. So
Yes.
these are two things which typically, if understood, then this will aid the Purushas very rapidly. Fadak se. Once your mindset turns away, though now she has her own life, her living. If she comes to me, I'll give my advice and forget it. Whether she follows or not, it is her lookout.
Right.
Moment you release your hold on her, na, all your problems are solved, which you did
Right.
partially. Stop the insistence. So that was releasing your mamta on her.
Right.
So that's nice. Okay, fine. Now we can.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes,
Jai
yes.
Sachidanand. Her, just for your information, her profession was she was a doctor.
Oh, you are a doctor. Okay, bye. And what is your daughter now?
She's in Atlanta. She is also a physician.
Oh, both are doctors.
For doctor છે.
તો વધારે તકલીફ થાય કે both are highly intellectual and both are experts in their own medical field. So you'll have greater tendency to, have
Exactly.
diverse viewpoints.
Right.
There's a possibility. That is also part of generation gap and things like that. It's fine.
Right.
Okay, so
Jai
now,
Sachidanand.
Jai
yes,
Sachidanand.
we can just start the uh, column number 6. Hey Dada Bhagwan, મને કોઈ પણ દેહધારી જીવાત્મા with any living person, કિંચિત માત્ર પણ, even the slightest વિષય વિકાર સંબંધી દોષો, slightest aberration on the વિષય વિકાર related to sex, related to lust, that may not make the slightest aberration, may not be the slightest mistake, the slightest misendeavors, इच्छाओं चेष्टाओं विचार संबंधी दोषों. इच्छाओं means desires, chestao means physical, what can be photographed in Dada Bhagwan's words, means physical activities, physical, touch someone, see someone, and all that. Ichhao chestao vichar sambandhi dosho, at the mind level, think lustfully about someone, the opposite, man or woman, like that. इच्छाओं चेष्टाओं विचार संबंध दोषों, न कराए न करावाय कर्ता प्रत्यय न अनुमोदाय, means not to do, not ask someone to, means I should not make these mistakes, nor ask someone to make the mistakes, nor encourage someone or support someone who has made such mistakes. And finally, the last is very important. મને નિરંતર નિર્વિકાર રહેવાની શક્તિ આપો. May I forever remain non-lustful. Give me the strength to remain non-lustful forever. So this basically, although the Kalam is put in these words, it basically encompasses all sexual misendeavors by mind, speech, or body, means action. At the mind, it basically getting engrossed in thoughts. Here, let us be clear. Intimate relations between spouses is permitted, husband and wife, but we are talking of the non-legitimate husband-wife, wherever at the mind level thoughts come, lustful thoughts come about the opposite man or woman. If it's a lady about a man, if it's a man for a woman. So wherever such thoughts come, lustful thoughts, and I want to enjoy her or him, so we must guard against those thoughts. Then in that also, mind, body, speech may we also include the chitta. Wherever our chitta gets engrossed, where it gets stuck, so there also we have to be vigilant and pull it back. By intellect, we may feel that, oh, this is a great source of happiness. So others may say, and then we get carried away by what they say. What a wonderful lady, what a wonderful man, and what's spending time with them. So the imposition of happiness in that has to be reversed. The opinion which was there is happiness in that, is now being reversed. So Buddhi is now saying, no, there is no happiness in that. So that is at the mind level. Then through the eyesight, that is whenever we see some person of the opposite sex, so we get attracted. So that also we have to guard against, especially nowadays when we open the TV or newspaper, or even we go out. In, so we see a lot of places where we get have a tendency, wherever due to our vision or looking or sight falling on such a thing, Vishavikar, restful thoughts erupt us. We are not having thoughts, but the moment we see such a thing, thoughts start emerging out, restful thoughts. So we have to guard our sight. Drastiness again. So you can't stop, but whenever you see, again, the vigilance is, the jagrati is to come back, bring back, erase, not get stuck over there. That's the purushartha over there. So, and speech means not speaking any such lewd things about the other person, passing comments about the body parts, maybe passing comments on the face features and things like that, or maybe saying jokes of which carry double meaning. So may I not do it? May I not support anyone doing it? Sometimes we are in a gathering or a group where people are saying that I am not saying such type of jokes or such language or comments. So I should not say yes into it or get into it. So this is a strength we are asking for. And I want to be vigilant against these type of mistakes also at the speech level, and at the kaya or the action or body level, uh, not getting into the physical act, not into the touch type of thing. Sometimes slight touches here and there and all, so those also are faults. So may I not, then there are desires that pop up, oh, such a nice thing, so may I not nourish such desires, not have such thoughts, not have such speech, not have such actions which are not correct, because not correct in from the nature's point of view. This is the nature's law which even all everybody follows. So may I not break such laws. Mane nirvikar evani shakti apo, may I always remain non-lustful. Now this is a positive aspect. First thing is that let me give me the strength not to do these errors by mind, body, speech, and give me the strength to remain non-lustful. This strength will increase our awareness, will increase our vigilance against such things that will happen in the discharge prakriti. Prakriti, mind, body, speech, whatever we have brought, we have brought. Now all that is part of discharge. Now, that was charged with some understanding in the previous birth. During the previous birth, whatever understanding we had, whatever circumstances we were in, we may have opined, we may have formed an opinion that there is happiness in this, and due to which it got charged, and now it is now playing out as discharge. You will have people of that type coming across you. You will have thoughts coming across you. You will be in situations where even if you don't want to see something, you will start seeing. So today, I am saying, hey Dada Bhagwan, may I be non-lustful. That means today I'm changing my opinion and I am not in favor of this, or let me put it, I'm strongly against this. So this Purushat is whatever discharge that will play out, we have to be vigilant and just withdraw. Withdraw in the sense, no, I don't agree. And if supposing we have got engrossed, then do Pratikraman. Pratikraman is a very key element and a very necessary tool to cleanse it up, because this thing needs to be really cleansed up. Otherwise, it's a very sticky type of karma which goes on and is a source of many other troubles that we encounter. Today, people encounter a lot of insults, a lot of setbacks, financial, health, and all. At times, the root cause lies here in the sixth column. If any aberration or deviation of the sixth column then results into punishment, which then appears. The punishment appears as people's improper behaviors with us. Basically, it causes us hurt from someone's speech, causes us hurt from our own body, illness and accidents and things like that. It causes us hurt in the form of stressful situations, stress and things like that. So some of the modern day these things have roots in the sixth column. That means that's the breaking of the sixth column is root cause for some of the sufferings. Not all, but some of the sufferings. So this, if we are able to follow this sixth column, practice the sixth column, then it will increase our inner happiness, number one, and also cut down on some of the hardships or unhappiness that we are facing in our life. Number two, it will also increase our awareness in the sense that we will have more awareness of practicing the five agnas. It will increase our jagrati so that we can practice the five agnas more better and more easily. And that will increase our inner happiness too. So it's a very vital column, especially in the modern era where a lot of aberrations of this type have taken place. And Lord Mahavir had predicted 2600 years ago that the times that are coming, people will indulge in all this and will assume that this is the source of happiness. This is the source of happiness. It will be glorified and marketed as a source of happiness, which is happening right now, which we are seeing wherever we go on the internet, and physically and other ways also, movies and things like that. So people don't know the pitfalls in that. People feel it's nothing wrong, but Dada Bhagwan and Tirthankar Bhagwan have cautioned us that it is not a source of happiness. Whatever happiness we derive from this is on loan. The happiness is on loan, and it will have to be repaid in terms of suffering. That repayment comes later on in life. So this is the broad framework of that it is wrong and it has the pitfalls and what is the right and how to overcome the discharge. To overcome the discharge, we have to ask the strength of the sixth column repeatedly to the extent it is troubling us. So if someone it is not troubling much, then he can do the normal this thing. But for someone for whom it is a challenge and often thoughts pop up of this category, or he gets attracted, or may I use the word distracted towards the opposite distinct gender, there he or she may need to ask for the strength of this kalam more and more. You know. So this is the broad framework of the meaning of the sixth kalam. In the Pusharth would be asking for the strength, number one. And as you ask for strength, you will realize where the aberrations or deviations are taking place, where we get attracted, where thoughts come, where we get engrossed, and things like that. In the present, number one, and in the past, that has already happened. Perhaps by saying this kalam, we will recall incidences where we have erred or made mistakes of the sixth kalam in the past, and it's a scope for Pratikraman, where we can do Pratikraman and clear out all our past these things, all our past mistakes. Do Pratikraman, clear out all the past mistakes, and resolve not to repeat. So that way, the past will go away. The present discharge also will be tackled and managed, and we will remain anchored in the soul, be able to practice the five agnas and progress further. Jai Satchidanand.
Deepakanandji, you want to add before we take any questions from the audience? Unmute, please.
Yeah, very much, very much. One thing what Dada has revealed, that we people of India, or that people of Bharat, we are Kashay Atma. So our life is more focused on passion, on or our weaknesses on anger, pride, possessiveness, and greed. Whereas the humans of the other world, they are Vishayatma. What it means, their focus is only on five sense gratification. So it's like, not that they are bad and we are good, nothing of that sort, but this is their inner development. And due to this reason, truly we are not sensory people, we are sensuous people, we are seekers of extrasensory happiness, of soul happiness and bliss. But unfortunately, due to lack of presence of Gnani Purush, fully enlightened person, this was undercover, I will say. It was never, although it we always remained as focal point of our progress, but it never could not be realized to practice in our daily life. And specifically, we as Mahatmas, Aptos are anyway in that field, but Mahatmas, they really don't need this happiness. So if it is used only for what do you call it, for reproduction purpose, then it's fine. Otherwise, it is not necessary. The only problem over here is due to unwanted, unnecessary interactions, mingling with people of opposite sex. This has become a problem, we will say. This has become a very big problem. But after coming to Dada Bhagwan and getting exposed to Akram and the science of liberation, I can definitely say that it becomes such a minor issue, very minor issue, because our unnecessary interaction has stopped. But people who are still in the world, they still interact with people. To come out of this is a nightmare at times. I will say it's a nightmare. But as we start getting associated with Satsang and mahatmas, it becomes so easy because every time you keep listening to stuff like how can you come out of these weaknesses, to Pratikraman, follow nine diamonds and all that. But outside, if you go and if that interaction is prominent, which especially for householders, that is a big thing because every day several hours are spent with them. So unless they invest quality time for satsang and data science, this will remain as a nightmare or an impossible thing, although it is not necessary. It is not necessary. If you look around in the nature also with other animals and other creatures, I will say, they're so normal and natural in this aspect. But humans are not, and I will say, it's a very dangerous conspiracy of people, worldly people who want to allure people, direct their attitude in this area and on their living. Otherwise, was it necessary to put, like what Pulinanandji said, you open the newspaper, you open a magazine, you open the TV thing, you go around in the world and you see big, big hoardings displaying unwanted thing which is not necessary. So this is what you really don't need that. And this exposure and specifically what Dada has said, if you really want to experience soul experience of our bliss, what Dada has said, then this is a wonderful thing. It's like you start walking on this side and you will start experiencing that inner bliss which Dada has so uh, gracefully given us. But we are not able to experience that bliss because all our energy is getting diverted to find sense happiness. So when we have said to remain absolutely free from disturbance of Nirantar Nirvikar Ravani Param Shakti Apo, what Dada has said, and in the sixth column, we say that it means to remain totally unaffected in any of the five and distractions, so that we remain well focused in pure soul experience, and that's how we will progress in the path of liberation. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Thank you. Okay, audience, any discussion, any questions, any queries?
Or maybe experience of any 1 to 6 columns.
Right. Okay, Salyaben.
Um, yeah, I was just thinking about this. Because the basic thing, the first two agyas itself, where we are looking at the relative and the pure soul, that itself, for at least for Mahatmas, for us who have taken the Gyan, the sixth column should not be a hindrance, or I don't even see us getting into this kind of problem, because after we're seeing everyone as Shuddhatma, right? So I'm trying to understand. Maybe this is something very for the much younger people, maybe as a teenager. Because at this point in life and after getting Gyan and all that, I'm wondering how this will be pertinent to me. That's what I was thinking about. Right? Maybe, but when you're much younger, so or maybe I'm not being very, maybe I'm not reading enough news. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe I feel like it is not, maybe not pertinent to me. Once you've started seeing, when you've started practicing the first two agyas and seeing everyone as Shuddhatma and the pure soul, and after listening to so much of satsang and after listening to the first five columns, this should be this should not be a hindrance, right? I mean, it should not come up also.
Well, let me salute you for what you said. You are some of the few exceptions who can make such a bold statement. It's not so easy. You are some of, I would say, a very fortunate person or a fortunate few for whom this is not a trouble, as you said. Why is it coming up in the first place? So if it's not a trouble for you, it's very, very nice, very nice. Maybe all those parmanus, all those things have been exhausted so far in the young
Probably.
age. For in your particular case, it has got exhausted. So for you, it's not a source of attraction or sort of distraction. So it
Distraction.
is fine. So for you, if you feel that this is not existing or not a trouble, then it is fine. Then you can continue. But it is not so easy because this thing can remain till any. It can remain in any age.
Okay.
It can remain till any age. There is no guarantee. Dada Bhagwan has cautioned us also that you have to be vigilant on this till the last breath. If a
Okay.
if a snake goes below your chair, will you be lifting your foot? Yes. Then you have to be aware of this.
Okay. Got it.
For you, if it's not there, it's very good. It's very fortunate, very lucky, and you can focus on the agnas and other stuff, the other shortcomings of the. But uh, on an average, as you said, truly, right, teenage and the younger age and all that, this
Got it.
becomes a necessary.
Hmm.
Basically, it's a caution.
Hmm.
And in case we have this, we need to ask for this strength.
Hmm. Yes.
But
We
be
should not
alert.
put to,
One needs to be alert. One never knows which type of thing will blow out when. Because you see, why this is necessary, very scientifically, Dada Bhagwan has said one thing, that the atoms by which the human body is composed, the male human body and the female human body, there's Krodman in the men and Kurukavan in the other. Now, these are like magnet and a piece of iron. Whenever they come close, they will automatically get attracted. Just the magnet and a piece of iron or blade will get attracted because it's a natural affinity. Similarly, atoms have a natural affinity to get attracted to each other.
yes, yes.
It's a natural thing.
Hmm.
So the Bhagwan has cautioned, be careful if it is there.
Hmm.
If it's not there in your case, you can manage it very easily. In your case, it's not there as it appears from your this thing talk. But for others who can manage it lightly, as Deepakanandji said, there's nothing much in it. It's not very important. So
Yes.
just leave it. So
Okay.
for them, it is easy to manage where the thought level.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably.
For, for some, it is for whom it has a little bit of challenge. Then this has been elaborated,
Hmm.
and it will be useful. It will be useful.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Yes.
Deepakanandji, you want to add something? Unmute, please.
Of course, yes. One thing is there that, our basic lifestyle is such that we always have this as a central virtue of our being. And we were fortunate that we have never seen our parents behaving loosely in this matter.
Yes. Yes.
We have never seen our mom or dad going to parlor and all that stuff, or getting ready and taking a lot of time getting ready and all that thing. So for us, it is like it has become a very easy thing to overcome it. And what you have said very rightly, that the first two agnas are enough to easily overcome these weakness. And even if it is there, I believe it has become so easy for us that this had been our central virtue of focus. And it's like, oh, I have won that, or I'm easily able to overcome it. So that is very true. Uh, and yes, for the younger ones, if it is there, it's fine. But then, if it is understood as a serious matter and a matter of concern, then they will always be watchful. They will always be vigilant, dealing with people around, and that's how they will protect themselves. Because what Dada has said, that it is only out of misconception that this has entered into our being, and if right vision and right association is, if you have that association, then you will be able to come out of it very easily. It doesn't remain a problem or doesn't become a big issue. In fact, that's what Dada has said, that told us all after Putras to stay together, so that when we interact and stay with each other, we will always see, because everyone is vigilant. And if someone's vigilance is less, I would say, everyone is vigilant. If someone's vigilance is less, when he interacts and remain in association with other Aptaputras who is better than him, naturally he will get that inspiration. Oh, yes, this is where I was going wrong. And this person has achieved that. So that's a good inspiration and good direction. And rather, it helped me have a better conviction to remain in the five Agnas and in this vow of celibacy. And in fact, I will say that every Mahatma who is doing the nine diamonds on daily basis, in his or her heart, the sixth Kalam is definitely there, because I remember in one of our initial interaction with kids, one of the kids very candidly came to me and said that I want to confess one thing. I said, what? He says, I do all the nine diamonds except the sixth one. And somehow my heart doesn't tell me to do that, and I'm not doing it. I just want to tell you that. I said, fine, no problem. When your heart says, do it. But I just recall that people who are not married, they feel that by doing the sixth Kalam, they will not be marrying. Rather, the purpose of the sixth Kalam is to become normal in this aspect, because, like as Dada has explained, four innate, intuitive, it's called Sangna. I don't know how to translate in English. Pulinanandji, how will you say the Sangna? Char Sangna kehte hain. Four. So, like food, every living being wants food. Every living being has fear,
Yes,
feeling fear. Every living being go to sleep, and every living being has these reproduction.
yes.
These are the four basic. I am not able to get the word, but anyway, these are the four basic instincts. Sorry, instincts.
Okay.
These are the four basic instincts which every living being have. So to normalize in the fourth one, that is reproduction or sensual pleasure, the sixth Kalam is there. And for us to overcome or be perfect in the sixth Kalam, if we become very clear and firm in the seventh Kalam, which is on food, then the sixth Kalam becomes very easy. So this is also one of the things which I wanted to highlight. Sri Satchidanand.
Yes, Satchidanand. The second Kalam is going to be very tough for me.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Very good. Larita Ben?
Jai Satchidanand, Pulinanandji and Deepakanandji. My question is really related to my profession. Unlike other professions, us physicians are exposed to the underbelly of society. And we see all kinds of actions that patients, especially mine are all female patients, so they all come to me with their different stories. And it's hard not to have opinions about that, even though you are taught to be professional and non-judgmental. Internally, the file number 1 is affected even professionally, and it bothers me, like this just goes against the grain. So my question is, should I do Pratikraman for all these opinions? that I can, of course, I'm not practicing now, but it, just throughout my profession, to give you an example, say somebody is attracted to somebody of the same sex and she wants to have a hysterectomy and wants to go on male hormones. And, you know, I tell her that the insurance is not going to okay it. But there are some, those things bother me. Try to be professional and talk to her about it. The other thing is, you see spousal abuse. Ladies come to you with their problems, and it's hard to see both the parties as Shuddhatmas, and they are just following their, like you said, basic instincts. So how should I deal with my opinions, is my question.
So this is as far as your past, na? Now you
Yeah.
are not, you said.
No, now I'm not. No, I used to come burdened with all this. I used to tell Radhe, Bhaiya, you only have to deal with facts and figures. You're an engineer. You're not exposed to any of this. And, housewives too, they're not exposed to any of this. You see such a wide range of problems that affect you internally, not externally. You try to be supportive to the patient, but yeah, it is my past. I was just, I'm not burdened by it, but I think of it and I have had opinions, pretty strong opinions. And my question is, should I do Pratikraman for having held opinions and not seeing relative real at that time? This is even after Gyan.
With that I can understand. Okay, you may have not able to see real and relative after that because no one would have given you that guidance at that point, or maybe you have not raised that issue also.
No.
So it has just remained at the back burner. Uh, all I can say is, with whatever little things troubling you now by way of past memories or past hardened opinions, to have opinions was very natural at that point of time. You can erase those opinions. You can do Pratikaman or say that whatever opinions I've had regarding the one you said was spousal abuse. So whatever opinions I've had regarding the husbands or the men, I now, with today's Gnan, understand that it is part of Vyavasthit. It was part of karmic hisab account of the lady as well as of the husband. It was their account which they were settling. You happen to hear one side of the coin and feel very strongly, which is natural. So all you can say that whatever harsh feelings I have harbored against men or people who are doing this type of abuse, I regret for that, for all those opinions, because those were with my ignorant understanding that I had brought with me. But with both are Shuddhatmas, both are this, and both basically have played out their karmas. Both the have played out their karmas. One has suffered and one has caused the suffering. So it is both. It is a karma for. It was basically, you have to tell yourself it was karma effect of both of them. So by that way they have squared up their accounts. I have to. All I can do is, you can pray for the well-being of both. So what you can do, Bhagwan, may the well-being of both take place. Let the husband get the right understanding so that he stops the abuse, and let the wife get the right understanding that she should not do some things which is causing this abuse to come to her. It in a very impartial manner. And if I use the bhogve any bowl, not the very right thing, but I'm just for the purpose of for the purpose. If I use bhogve any bowl, then the sufferer is also at fault, na? The person who is suffering must have done something which is causing the suffering to come to her. What she did, when she did, we don't know. But it doesn't come out of the blue. There are causes. So if you apply that knowledge to your intellect, to pacify your intellect and your burden, that's all. So both are erroneous in a way. The wife has done some mistake, so she is getting the suffering. The husband is giving the suffering, so he's also erring somewhere. He'll get suffering later on. So this is a play of karmas, of play of two prakrutis, and you have to remain as an observer and just pray for the well-being of both. May the divine intellect dawn upon them. May their well-being take place. Maybe they get out of all this mess, and maybe they progress spiritually. And that is called karuna. Like Tirthankar has a karuna. He can see right and wrong. One person killing one person, but he will not mess into it. He will have karuna on both. May the well-being of both take place, because whatever is being played out is being played out of ignorance or wrong understandings. Why is a man killing a person and why the other person is getting killed? So we have to develop that larger insight. Develop that larger insight that it is basic karmic forces at play. They have played out, and what the pain that it is causing to you, or the burden, slight burden that is coming to you, is you can just quench that by may the well-being of both take place. And in case you have found very hard opinions that men are like that, men this should be done for men, all men are like this. If some general hardened opinion for men have taken place, then you can do Pratikraman and erase those opinions. That, hey Dada, I have in my ignorant state, I have formed opinions for others, which I regret, I repent, and I just absolve or remove them. Because the opinions will carry forward with you.
Yes.
Opinions will, and that is what is pinching you now, maybe.
No, just when I recall certain events just come to the fore, so.
Yeah, it will come because those are uncleared, you see.
Yes.
Those opinions are not cleared. And all mahatmas are on this purshat of clearing out all wrong opinions. In this case, you have to just sit in a samayik one day and recall all the opinions you have formed. Those are hurtful opinions, basically. It's anti someone. Against someone. So just pray that whatever wrong opinions I have found for the men or with this thing, I apologize. May divine grace, shower divine grace on them, and may they take place well. May they get wisdom, may they get wise, something like that. So you clear out your opinions, and you also soothe your balm your hurt feelings by may their welfare take place. So you feel you have done something. Otherwise, what? Suppose you didn't have this gnan. If the wife complains, my husband abused me like this, then you will feel, if I had a peace of mind, I would have given a piece lashing to that fellow. So then you will feel, yeah, you have done something, corrective action to alleviate the pain of the women or something. Here, this is the corrective action, mental corrective action. May the welfare of both take place. May they get wise, get wisdom. So you have played your part. Basically, you have sort of soothed your inner suffering. Little Pratikraman for opinions form and soothing for and take place. That remove that little burden that is there with you. That will remove the burden that is with you. Because this is going to be very dirty and tricky. Maybe for some years, if Dada's Gnan spreads more and more, some people will be enlightened and there will be some awareness and purity on this extent. But in general, they say the fifth era is a slippery, gradually it all taper down. Moral value, spiritual values, all stand, everything will. But Dada has also said some 100, 200, or maybe 300, 400 years, very good time going to come, like such. So just play that this is the event of the era, and where will take place. May the wisdom, and you clear your opinions. That's all. So that the trouble coming to you will get over.
That's right. I need to concentrate on me because the world will go on as it is, and with all their karmas playing out. Yes.
So there is nothing you can do. We don't have no control on the external world.
No. But then you come away scarred a little bit.
But then you have to. That's what I'm saying. May the well-being take place. That's all.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Deepakanandji?
Jai Sachidanand. See, one thing, you only heard one side story.
Mm-hmm.
You happen to hear the other side story also.
No,
So you don't have the complete picture of the situation.
you're right.
Because when I talk about someone or when I talk about my situation, then I will always create my safe side. I will never reveal, divulge all my or any of my mistakes, and I will always elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in big detail, I will explain you the mistake of the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So here, it is very important, especially when Dada had dealt with such situations. He never listened to only one side. He'll say, "You both have to come here and talk with me."
Mm-hmm.
So that way, he would come to know both sides' story, and if he has to uh, guide them, then he would really nicely guide them, and it will be good for both of them. At the same time, see, it's like you are listening to someone else's story and you are seeing someone at fault, the other person at fault.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you have to do Pratikraman because the world is innocent. For example, what Dada had said, if he sees two people fighting, then someone is beating the other person, then his wisdom of knowledge tells him that why the other guy is getting thrashing from this man or this person? Because he has done something wrong in the past. And why this guy is thrashing him? He has done something good, but he doesn't know what he's doing, and he will have to bear the results of his wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at both of them, Dada remains impartial.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, if both of them come to him, then he will guide them correctly. What wrong this person had done, what wrong this person is doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? And that's
Yeah.
how both will progress in the path of liberation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do Pratikraman because we just heard one side story and judge the other person wrong.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. See, it's not that we are good. We have been continuing take all the years. So definitely we will come across our mistakes, but gradually with this understanding, we will understand our mistake, we will correct our mistake, and become perfect in all our dealing. Jai Satchidanand.
Okay, Jai Satchidanand, our time is up. So we'll continue with column number 6, right, Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Our time is up. So Deepakanandji, three mantra. Lalitabhen, please follow.
Yeah. Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Dragai.
Namo Varihantanam.
Namo Tanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Sayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Ekso Panchanamukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Savapava Pranashano.
Savva Panasano.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Mangalan Savesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.